How to quit your job in property with only 50 grand in cash. This is through property flips. Now, I've done around 30 flips in my days and made over £1 million in net profit post-tax. I'm going to show you how you can get started with just one. So when we're buying property, you really can do it in several ways. You can do my favorite strategy, which is boring vanilla buy to let, but that's really about increasing your wealth through time. With a flip, what you're doing is buying this damaged property and you're really refurbishing it to a higher standard and selling it on. And the reason I really love this as a start-up standard strategy is you can do it in your own home. And if you've ever done this before, you'll know that the downsides are living in it, but it's also tax-free profits, because if it's in the house that you live in, you buy a house that's a bit run down, you do up the property and you can sell it on tax-free. There is no capital gains tax on your personal residence. Now, how do the numbers work? Well, most people get this wrong because they actually go from the purchase price all the way down. But instead, you want to flip that on its head and you want the DUV, the done up value. Once you've got the done up value, which is how much is it going to sell for, you can work back from there. Let me give you an example. Let's say this house is done up, it's going to be worth 200,000. Well, then I want to take off the single most important figure, which is your profit. So when you're doing these deals, you want to take account of you first. Be a bit selfish. So we're going to aim for around 15% profit, which is £30,000. So that's how much I want to make at the end of this flip. And that's going to be a pre-tax figure. But then we're going to take off the refurbishment. So let's say on this property, this refurb is going to be an additional 30,000. And then we want to take off some fees. So we're going to take off around 5,000 in fees. And that £5,000 is going to be things like your mortgage brokering fee, maybe some application fees, maybe a survey, and of course your solicitor fees as well. These are just a rough estimation. Finally, we need to take off our stamp duty. So stamp duty, if it's your personal residence, when you're buying a sub 200k house, there's not going to be any stamp duty to pay. But if it's as an investment or a second property, you're going to have additional stamp duty of 3%. So we've got the 200k, take off the 30, the 30 and the 5. So we're taking off 65. We're at £135,000. And roughly we're going to be at about a 3% stamp duty on that, which give or take is £4,000. So we've got 69 grand to take off, and what's left is what we're able to purchase the property with, which is going to be £131,000. Now, something else that I like to take account of at this point is COF, cost of finance. A lot of people don't think of their cost of finance and they think, well, that's my profit, right? Well, no, because if I'm going to be buying the property and then putting all of this in, I need the money to begin with. So the first thing you need to understand is, how much money are you going to need? Well, I'm going to need all of this here. So we need the refurbishment, the stamp duty and the fees. So that's going to be 39k cash. And of course, we're going to need money to buy the property. Now, how do you finance a flip? Well, you cannot use a mortgage. And a lot of people out there, and even the gurus out there, go, you could just buy it with a mortgage, it won't be a problem. Well, it might not be a problem, but it is mortgage fraud. So if we want to stay on the right side of the law, let's get it right. And you can either use cash, and this isn't financial advice, but what I've done personally on all of these deals is I've used bridging. So we're going to need to put down a deposit on this. So when you've got bridging, you're going to be 25% typically. So that's going to be another £32,750. So when we're adding this up, we've got 71,750. So 71,750 to make £30,000 in profit, which is an absolutely phenomenal return. But Jamie, where do you get bridging from? Well, you can go to hard money lenders, which are private lenders if you like. You can go to a mortgage broker if you like. But honestly, my favorite place to go is going to be LENDLORD. And LENDLORD is today's video sponsor as well. So thanks for that, LENDLORD. But LENDLORD's an amazing place not only to analyze your flip deals, you can actually go on the invest part of LENDLORD, click on the button, and you can source your properties in advance. And if you tell tell Lendlord that you're looking to flip properties, it will extrapolate from Zoopla, Rightmove, On the Market, and all of these portals, put them in one place, and it will show you, give or take, what your returns will be. You can then click on there, adjust it for what refurbishment you think is going to go there, and then at a click of a button, you can get all of your finance in one place. It really is a one-stop shop, and what's best, it's completely free. So you can click the link in the description. I'll pin it to the top. Genuinely, if you've not been on Lendlord before, give it a go. It's completely free. Don't take my word for it. If you click on it and register your details, I don't get paid anything for that, but they are absolutely exceptional. I've personally used them for bridging. I use it to analyze properties, and it will blow your mind. So click the link below, put in an example property, and see what the finance would look like for you. But you can source, analyze, and finance all in one place. And at the moment, at the time of this video, it's completely free. Click the link in the description, you'll see what I mean. Some top tips with the refurbishment here is you need to understand a couple of things. So number one is the schedule of works. I didn't mention this, but on Lendlord, there's now a schedule of works that you can incorporate into it in the advanced features, which is pretty good. But you also want a specification. And the specification is going to be, what standard are you putting in? Let's say a kitchen, for example. I can get a kitchen supplied, not fit, for £1,500. I can also get the same size kitchen for £15,000. And you might think, how can you get it that cheap and expensive? Well, it's all down to the spec. It's all down to the quality. We've all walked on carpets where we're like, oh, it feels like sandpaper. And we've all walked on carpets that feels like an absolute cloud, right? And it's all to do with the spec. So what you do is you look at the ceiling price of the area. You look in the spec of an area. You go and inspect some properties, talk to some local estate agents, and ask for what people are looking for. Is it more open space in the area? Is it more closed off? And you'd be shocked, it really is subjective and area to area, so talk to the local experts. Once you understand the schedule of works, the specification, you can really start working out your profit margin in this. Now, when you're doing this and pricing up, unless you are a builder that's done loads of these, why would you price it up? Get a reputable local expert. I really like going to BNI, Business Network International, where you can really meet some really good tradesmen in the local area, and always check out a few of their current refurbishments. So you've got an idea, not of just what they talk about they do, but actually what they do, and you can understand the specification. So I hope this has been valuable, so that you can take away everything you need to go out and find your first deal, analyze it correctly, get the schedule of works, and get it funded all in one place. So go away, take this content, click the link on Lendlord, and go and find out for yourself. If you're new to the channel, you want to find out more, make sure to hit the subscribe and the notification bell. And if you did get value, tap the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.